You ready?
Good?
Yeah.
Alright, so how you guys doing today? My name is Francisco, and today I'll be showing you how to do a California patch. To begin with, you want to make sure that you lay down a tarp or any type of cardboard to make sure you catch any debris or any trash that might be thrown to the floor when you're doing your repair. You want to make sure you have a few tools with you to do the repair. You want to have a spatula knife, 4 to 6 inches preferably, to go ahead and add the joint compound, a utility knife, and your hole saw. As well as you want to have your drywall patch, and this is already a prep version of it, but I will show you along the way how to prep it. Okay, so for starters, ideally you would have a smaller hole. It's not going to start off this way. So when you go ahead and you approach the hole, you want to make sure that you verify the area to make sure that there's no electrical or any plumbing around the surrounding area. That way you can prevent any further damage from when you're doing your repair. So ideally when you go ahead and you do your cutout, you want to kind of make out a square. After you go ahead and you do out your square, you want to go ahead and bevel the edges. You want to bevel the edges. After that, your next step will be to prep your drywall patch. So you would transfer the layout on the back side of your drywall patch. What you would do, you want to go ahead and measure out the size of the patch you will be using, which would be the portion of the drywall. When you go ahead and you do your cut, you want to go about 1/8 of an inch in, so that way when you go ahead and you do your dry fitting, the patch fits without any problem. You actually have some play to move around with. When you go ahead and you prep your drywall patch, you want to make sure to leave about 1.5 to 2 inches of extra paper or tape, whatever you like to call it, so that when you go ahead and you do your patch, that'll be the part that seals onto the existing drywall. Okay, next I will go ahead and add the joint compound to my drywall patch. Keep in mind you want to be generous with your joint compound, that way you don't have any bumps or any areas that are not sealing properly due to the fact that you're missing joint compound, so be generous. You want to go ahead and apply it to each corner. And try not to make a mess, just to make sure that when you're done with the repair, you don't have to clean up too much. Okay. Now you want to go ahead and apply your patch to the cavity in the wall. One thing I forgot to mention, when doing the cutout for your drywall patch, you want to make a mark on the patch you're using from north to south. That way when you go ahead and you go back to putting your patch on, you know the orientation of the patch. Okay, so now I'll be applying it. You always want to make sure to clean off your knife for any debris or anything that might have gotten on the knife along the way, to make sure that when you're spreading out the mud, you don't have no debris along the mud. So when removing the excess joint compound from the patch, you want to go from corner to corner. Fortunately, here I'm at the edge of the actual drywall board, so the excess will be coming out of the side, unfortunately, but it's not a problem. Okay. Another thing that you can look for whenever you believe you've removed all the excess joint compound from your patch, it's called the fingernail test. You can go ahead and push up against the tape part and see if there's any excess compound coming out the edges of the tape. If there's not, then it kind of goes to see that you removed all the excess compound. Keep in mind when you're going ahead and you're removing all the excess compound that the joint compound is wet. So the longer you take to go ahead and remove the excess compound, the paper is getting wet at the moment. So try to do it as fast as possible. Alright, and normally there's about 3 coats that go to this patch. This is our first coat, so what we want to do is go ahead and wait till it dries out, and then on top of that we'll go ahead and add our second coat. And that's the first process to go in and doing the California patch. Thank you guys.